There are moments in prayer when the heavens seem silent. The kind where you've poured out everything, your words, your tears, your exhaustion, and it feels like nothing's happening, and slowly you start asking yourself, does God still hear me? Sometimes he's not silent because he doesn't have an answer. He's silent because he's teaching you, and often we're the ones being taught. How to trust him even when we don't see the outcome. But how do you know if he's really listening? What if he's been answering all along? Through the people he sends, through seemingly random events, or even through the quiet moments you've been avoiding? Many times, the answer comes in ways you don't expect. Maybe through a stranger's smile, an unexpected moment, or the simple silence that feels like nothing is happening. In this message, we're going to talk about 3 signs you might have missed. Ways God listens to your prayers, even when you haven't seen the answer yet. Welcome to Blue Faith, a place where silence becomes strength and waiting turns into worship. Here we remind you that in every moment of exhaustion, in every prayer that seems unanswered, there's still a voice speaking in the middle of it all. Because remember, your struggles and victories are God's way of speaking to your heart. So before you doubt, take a deep breath. The answer you've been waiting for might already be there. You just need to see it through the lens of faith. These are 3 signs you'll hear God again. Not in noise, but in the quiet, guiding you toward change. Sign number 1, when he's silent, he's teaching you. There are nights when heaven feels completely quiet. You've said the same prayers over and over, but it seems like nothing happens. And you find yourself asking, Lord, do you still hear me? Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Psalm 37, verse 7. But in that silence, he's working in ways you don't see. He's not ignoring your prayers. He's teaching you how to trust, even when there's no answer. Sometimes prayer isn't about getting an answer. It's about learning to rely on him before you even know the outcome. His silence is like the night before the sunrise. Dark, but it's where faith grows. It's where he shapes a heart that's used to rushing, teaching it to pause and trust. Imagine a child learning to run in the dark. Afraid at first, but slowly learning to walk steadily. That's your heart in God's silence, gradually being strengthened for lasting faith. Have you ever cried out to the Lord with no answer, yet felt an unexplainable peace? Maybe he hasn't changed your situation yet, because he's working on changing you first. So when he's silent, don't worry. In those quiet moments, he's teaching your heart to listen deeper. Next, you'll see why God's silence is often followed by storms. Not to test your strength, but to remind you how steady he is within you. Sign number 2. When your faith is tested, he shows the depth of your foundation. There are moments when life hits all at once. You feel like there's nothing to hold on to. Everything you believed in seems to be falling apart. And in the middle of that storm, your heart whispers, Lord, how long do I have to endure this? These trials will test your faith, proving its genuineness, which is more precious than gold. 1 Peter 1:7. Sometimes God allows trials not to see if you're strong, but to show you how deep your foundation in him really is. True strength isn't shown when life is easy, but when the flood comes and you still stand in faith. Have you ever gone through a time that felt like everything was falling apart, but in the end you felt his presence more strongly? You might not have realized it, but that storm was his way of reminding you where your heart truly stands. So when storms come, don't think he's abandoned you. Every gust of wind lets you hear how deep the faith planted in you really is. And once you survive the storm, you'll see something even clearer. Not only has He strengthened your faith, but He's also redirecting your heart. Next, you'll discover how God uses change to bring you back to the purpose you might have forgotten. Sign number 3. When He changes your path, He's directing you. Sometimes God's answer isn't yes or no. It's a different way. What seemed like failure might actually be the door you've been praying for. A person who walked away, a job that fell through, a plan that suddenly changed. What looked like a roadblock was really protection. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. Proverbs 3:6. When God changes your direction, He's not changing His mind. He's reshaping your heart's purpose. Sometimes you won't hear "go this way" from Him until you accept the stop He's sending. So if you're on a path you didn't plan, don't be afraid. This might be the road where you truly encounter Him. Not according to your plan, but according to His will. Have you ever felt like God closed a door, only to realize later that He was guiding you to a safer path? He's not ending your plan, He's building His plan for you. So when your path changes, don't worry. It might just be on this new path that you find the answer you've been praying for all along. In the final part, we'll see how to experience peace in every step guided by God. If there's one thing to remember, He will never change your path just to confuse you. He changes it to lead you to deeper faith. So in every quiet night, in every storm, or in life's unexpected turns, remember that at every step God is still guiding you. Have you ever felt God redirect your life? Share in the comments how He taught you to trust again. And as God changes your path, let Him take the wheel. Because sometimes it's on the roads you didn't choose that you truly discover who He is. Not in your plan, but in the trust that keeps going even when the path changes. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Blue Faith, where every hope is given a voice and every faith is deepened through God's Word. See you in the next one.